Hi everyone, in this video I will explain the closest pair problem. So here we are using the brute force algorithm to solve this problem. So before I am explaining the brute force algorithm to solve this closest pair problem, so we'll see what will be the closest pair problem. So the closest pair problem, it calls for finding the two closest points in a set of given n points. So we are assuming that the points in a questions are simplified in a standard fashion by their xy Cartesian coordinates, and by their and the distance between any 2 points, that is pi equals to xi xj and pj equals to xj yj, is the standard Euclidean distance. So that is d of pi pj equals to square root of xi minus xj whole square plus yi minus yj whole square. Okay, so we are using simply this formula. So we can apply this formula in your brute force technique. So we can solve this closest pair problem. So this is an algorithm for a brute force closest points. So here it will take one argument, that is your points. So find two closest point in the plane by a brute force technique, and here it will take an input a list of points p of size n. So remember, always your n is greater than or equals to 2, because in order to find the distance at least you need 2 points, right? So because of that it will take a condition n is always greater than or equals to 2. So p1, suppose if you take the values, it will be of x1 y1, and p2 it will take the values, it will be x2 y2, and so on. Pn is represented as a xn yn. So what will be the expected output? So it will take the index 1 and index 2 of the closest pair of the points. So in which position you are finding the distance of points are minimum, so you can take that indexes as your output. So now this is an algorithm. So simply we can take your minimum distance, we assign with an infinite, because we don't know that what will be the minimum distance of any 2 points in your surface. So simply we can take your initial d min value as infinite, so that when you find the first distance between any 2 points, definitely it will be less than your infinite, and after that all next iterations the min value it will be changed. So you are taking here two for loops. One for loop will take the first coefficient values, and second for loop will take the second coefficient value. So that here is I starts from 1 and it run up to n minus 1, and j is always starts I plus 1 to n it run. So simply we can use this formula, d equals to square root of xi minus xj whole square plus yi minus yj whole square. So now every time we can compare the find the distance with the minimum distance. So whenever the find the distance is less than what your assumption of or you are getting the minimum distance from your previous iterations, so that can be compared. So distance is less than d min, so simply what we can do, so d min is exchanged with distance, and this is executed after all your for loops are exited. So after you finding all the after you are getting all the points to compare, so then only we can identify so what will be the closest points. So at last you can define your index 1 from I and index 2 from j. So you can simply return index 1 and 2, and then you can close this algorithm. So we'll go with a simple example. So I'll take my n value as 5, so that I have in my x I have 5 values, and in my y I have 5 values. So your I run from 1 to 4, and internally your j run from I plus 1 to 5. Okay, because it is run I plus 1 to n only. So in a first iteration, first pass, so this simply we can say the pass 1. So in this pass 1, your I is 1, because you can start your I loop with 1, and your j is becomes to I plus 1, that is 2. So what your distance formula will say, so in my first iteration I am trying to find my distance square root of, so what is my I and j positions 1 and 2, right? So that I will take xi is x1 minus xj is x2, so that I will take x1 x2, so see this is x1, x2, x3, x4 and x5, and these are y1, y2, y3, y4 and y5. So simply see x1 minus x2, x1 minus x2 equals to 6 minus 3 whole square plus, see here what we can take, y1 minus y2, that equals to 3 minus 2 whole square. So 6 minus 3 equals to 3, 3 square equals to 9, and 3 minus 2 equals to 1, 1 square equals to 1. So now I can find square root of 10, which will be of 3.16. And after that what I need to do, I can compare with my distances. So now d equals to 3.16 and initially my d min is infinite. So 1.6 is less than infinite. So for my next iteration, d min equals to d, that equals to 3.16. And in my second iteration, my j get increment. So now it becomes 3 because previously my j is 2, right? So now it becomes 3. So that I can take x1, x3. See, x minus 2 whole square and then 3 minus 5 whole square. So 6 minus 2 equals to 4, 4 square equals to 16, and 3 minus 5 equals to minus 2, 2 square equals to 4. So this is square root of 20 and square root of 20 is 4.47. So what will be my distance here? 4.47. It is less than, what is my min distance from my previous iteration? This is 3.16. So 4.47 is less than 3.16. The condition failed. So that I cannot change my d min value. Okay, so when I check if my condition is true, then only my d min will change with this new value. So in my next iteration, my j get increments and now j becomes to 4. So then what's happening? x1 minus x4. So 6 minus 5 square, y1 minus y4, that is 3 minus 6 whole square. So now it becomes 2, 6 minus 5 is 1, 1 square plus 3 minus 6 is minus 3 square equals to 9. Again I got square root of 10. So now that is 3.16. My distance is 3.16 and my d min is also 3.16. So 3.16 is not less than 3.16. So I cannot change my d min. So it remains, it will be same. And after that, my fourth iteration in my first pass, I value is 1 only, but j get increments, it becomes 5. So that it will take x1 minus x5, y1 minus y5. So those values are 6 minus 3 whole square plus 3 minus 5 whole square. So which is of 3 square is 9 and 2 square equals to 4. This is square root of 13, which the value is 3.60. So now I'll compare 3.60 is less than 3.16. The condition fails. So still remain my d min will consisting of 3.16 only. Okay. So now j get increment, it becomes 6. 6 is less than 5. The condition failed. So then what's happening? When condition fail, j get terminated. So now my I value, it get increments. So now my I is 2. So when my I is 2, j equals to 3. So that it will take in this pass x2 minus x3, x2 minus x4, x2 minus x5. Okay, and the same way it can take y2 minus y3, y2 minus y4 and y2 minus y5. So because of that, so this is my list, right? So now what is x2 is 3, what is x3 is 2. So 3 minus 2 whole square plus what is y2 is 2 and y3 is 5. So 2 minus 5 whole square. So now it is 1 square is 1 and this is 3 square equals to 9. Again it gets square root of 10. So this value is 3.16. 3.16 is less than 3.16. Condition fail. I didn't change my d min. It remains 3.16 only. So in my next iteration, j get increment. It will take j value as 4. So that it will take these coordinates like x2 minus x4, y2 minus y4. So I can substitute x2, x4 values and y2, y4 values. So simply it is 3 minus 5 square plus 2 minus 6 square, that is 4 plus 16 square root of 20. 4.47 is not less than 3.16. I cannot change. Again my d min is same. So in my next iteration, my j value get increment, it becomes 5. So when j is 5, it will take x2 minus x5 and y2 minus y5. So that it will take the values 3 minus 3, so that is 0 square, and 2 minus 5, that is 9. Because it is 3 square, right? So it becomes square root of 9. So square root of 9 is 3. So now 3 is less than 3.16. Yes, the condition is true. So that the min will be exchanged with 3. So in my third pass, so my I get increment. So now it becomes 3. So when I is 3, j is 4. So it will take only 2 iterations in this pass. See, it will take x3, x4, and this is y3, y4. And in this iteration, it will take x3 minus x5, y3 minus y5. So these are the values of x3 and x4, that is 2 minus 5 whole square. This will become 3 square 9, and 5 minus 1 whole square, that is minus 1 square equals to 1. So SQRT of 10. So 3.16 is less than 3, condition failed. So I cannot change my D min, it remains 3 only. So then in my next iteration, j becomes increment, it becomes to 5. So now it will take x3 minus x5 and y3 minus y5 positions, 2 minus 3 whole square plus 5 minus 5 whole square. I get square root of 1. So what is my square root of 1 means? It is 1 only. So now it will check 1 is less than 3, is the condition is true. So then what is my d min? Now it changed with 1. So in my next pass, because I didn't terminate my I, right, when your algorithm will terminate, sir, so it will terminate your I loop, then only your algorithm will get terminated. So now I becomes 4, so your j becomes I plus 1, that equals to 5. So here we have only one iteration, so that is x4 minus x5 whole square and y4 minus y5 whole square you need to find. So square root of this is x4 and this is x5, 5 minus 3 whole square, plus this is y4 and this is y5, 6 minus 1 whole square. That equals to 2 square equals to 4 and 1 square equals to 1. Square root of 5 is 2.24. So 2.24 is not less than 1. So simply I cannot change my d min, it remains 1 only. So in which or in where you are getting 1 as your distance. So see, in your third pass your I becomes 3. So when your I is 3 and what is your j value at this position? J is 5, you get the minimum distance as 1. So it will return that index. So index 1 is I value, it return as 3, and index 2 is it value is 5. So at these 2 points you get the minimum distance as 1. So that is your answer. So now we'll see the time complexity. So here we are taken 2 basic operations. So that is the comparison, and then we are trying to find 2 operations here. Every time we are doing 2 operations. So simply what we are doing, we can do the multiplication, because we are finding the square root, right? So there we are finding multiplication, so you can do in terms of addition only, and every time we are doing the comparison. So these are 2 basic operations you are performing in this algorithm, and your I starts from 1 to n minus 1 and your j runs from I plus 1 to n. So 2 basic operations you have, you can write like this. So now, so this can be taken outside. You want to remove this. Your j starts from I plus 1 to n means which term you are missing every time? You are missing ith term in ith term in your n. Suppose see, for example, if your I is 1, your j starts from 2 to n. So which number you are missing? 1. So what is that number? I. So that's why simply you can take this term as n minus I. Okay, and then you can take what is your n? N is nothing but you can take all your elements from n minus 1 to 0 itself, because n is the last element, right? So see, n minus 1 to up to 1 you can take. Okay, so simply this is nothing but the summing of n values. So here we have a negative terms, you can write here the negative value, and 2 multiplied with n into n minus 1 by 2. So here 2 and 2 get cancelled. Now you get n square minus n is your term. So it is nearer to the n square coefficient, that is theta of n square is your time complexity. Thank you.